Fact 1. The French-Indian War was a major war fought in American colonies. French and Indians were against colonies and British. The war was won by the British and the American colonies. The British gained significant territory in North America as a result of the war. Fact 2. The Stamp Act was a tax put on the American colonies by the British in 1765. It was repealed in 1766. It was called like it because the colonists were supposed to buy paper from Britain that had an official stamp. They refused to pay taxes because the British imposed a tax, but there wasn't any representative in the British Parliament. Fact 3. The colonists felt British government had no right to tax them because there were no colonist representatives in the British Parliament, and they couldn't defend themselves. They didn't think it was fair. They called it taxation without representation. Fact 4. The Boston Massacre was occurred on March the 5th, 1770, when British soldiers opened fire on the American colonists. They finally killed 5 men because of a taxation on tea, glasses, paper, paint, and lead. The leader of British soldiers was John Adams. Fact 5. The Boston Tea Party was a protest by the American colonists against British government because the tax on tea was very expensive. They staged the protest by boarding 3 trade ships in Boston Harbor and throwing the ship's cargo of tea overboard into the ocean. There were 342 chests of tea into the water. It's as much as 13 elephants. The British lost $1 million. Fact 6. The Battle of Lexington was a small battle where the British wanted to capture the rebel leaders. Most of colonists were killed and the rest of them fell. Concord battle aimed at destroying American stores of weapons and ammunition. The Americans defeated the British who retreated. Fact 7. The Congress officially adopted the final version of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776. In this text, the colonists declared their independence. A copy of this text was sent to British government and to the colonists. Only 56 members signed it, and John Hancock was the first to sign it. His signature was the longest of all. Fact 8. Nathanael Greene put in some new tactics that unveiled American victories and caused the British army to retreat to the east coast. The British army was surrendered at Yorktown. On October the 19th, 1781, the General Cornwallis signed the British surrender. It was called the Articles of Capitulation. Fact 9. The Treaty of Paris was the official treaty between US and British that ended the American Revolution. It was negotiated in Paris, that's where it gets its name. 2 important Americans negotiated the treaty. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and King George III signed it too. This treaty included 2 major points. British recognized the colonies to be free and independent. The boundaries allowed for western expansion. Fact 10. Most of Americans weren't trained as soldiers and didn't have uniforms. In 1775, Congress adopted brown as official color of the uniform. The nicknames of patriots who fought against British was called Wings. The British wore red uniforms. They were called the Redcoat, or the Loyalists, or Kingmen. The British Army was more organized than American Army. Fact 11. The flag of Americans was exactly the same as today, but there were less stars than today. It was a flag resolution on June 14, 1777. On this flag, there were 13 white stars and 13 red and white alternating strips. Nicknames of the flag was the Stars and Strips. Fact 12. George Washington was born on February the 22, 1732. He was the first president of the US from 1799 to 1797. His vice president was John Adams. He was in the Federalist Party. He was the most courageous president because he always fought with his soldiers. He died on December the 14th, 1799. Fact 13. John Adams was born on October the 13th, 1735. He was the second president from the US. from 1797 to 1801. His vice president was Thomas Jefferson. He was in the same party as George Washington. He worked on the text of the Declaration of Independence and signed it too. He died on July 4th, 1926. Fact 14. Thomas Jefferson was born on April 13, 1743 in Albemarle County in Virginia. He was the third president of the US from 1901 to 1909. His vice president was George Clinton and he was a Federalist. He was one of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence. He also bought Louisiana from Napoleon for $15 million. It doubles the size of the US. He is dead on June 4th, 1856 in Virginia. Fact 15. Marquis de Lafayette is born on September 6, 1757, in Chavagnac, France. He was the most famous French army general at this time. He fought for the American army in the Revolution and took part of the French Revolution. His nickname was the Hero of Two Worlds. He is dead on May 20, 1834.